Okay, so this is my daily rant for Monday, January 8th, right? So listen, I don't know if y'all know who Dean is, but Dean just did a live yesterday, and Dean is the former best friend of Meek Mills, right? And so I was watching the live because I be watching DJ Academics from time to time, and he said something that really bothered me, right? And a close source, a reliable source had told me this before, but he said that Meek had spitted in Nicki's face. Now, of course, a close source to me told me that Meek was abusive to Nicki, right? And I was just like, okay, whatever, that's their business. But I kind of side eye him after that situation. Now, granted, after the Kiki Palmer situation, with her baby daddy, and it came out that he was being abusive, I decided to make this live, right? Because a lot of women are in abusive relationships. Now, just because a person is a celebrity or they rich or they got fame does not make them obsolete of abusive relationship. And me, I've been in an abusive relationship, a physical abusive relationship with my former business partner that I used to do Detroit Riot Radio with. He was very abusive, verbally, physically, and all of that. And, I want to address this thing. First and foremost, I ain't with that. A man that puts his hands on a woman is like the scum of the earth, right? But I want to address, because prior to that situation, I could not see how women be getting into these relationships and be staying and going through it for years or months or whatever, right? And when I got into the situation, I was able to really understand how this works, because I believe that God took me through every situation known to man so that I can really address and have empathy for all types of women. But I want to say this, okay? Most women that stay in an abusive relationship, the first part of it is they're in shock and they're trying to uphold the image for the man, because they're like, okay, I don't want people to know that just the type of person he is, and I'm gonna try to hide it, and I'm gonna just go through it. Maybe, because normally afterwards the fellas apologize, blah blah blah. They buy you stuff. You like, okay, this was just a one and done situation. But then it keeps going on, and then you like, okay, nah, brother, you literally abusive, and you got some type of mental instability, some trauma, some toxicness, and I can't deal with it. But I want to say this to the women that are still in abusive relationships, because obviously Nikki went through it, Kiki went through it, I done been through it, and it's probably a slew of other celebrities that are going through it, have been through it, and they just haven't talked about it. I want to say this to you, okay? Do not make an excuse for him, okay? 9 times out of 10, he come from an abusive household. I later found out that the person that was physically abusive with me, his mom went through it, because actually his mom told me that her husband was physically abusive to her. And obviously he saw it, and he thought that this type of behavior was okay, was normal, because his mama went through it, right? But I want to say this. Do not make excuses for that man, right? They do not change. If they do it once, they're going to do it again. If a man disrespects you, you leave his ass, okay? Do not make an excuse for him. I don't care how long you've been with him. I don't care how many children you have with him. You have to make sure that you get out of that situation, because what happens is it messes with your mental. It can mess with your, like, literally behind this ear, I have pain, right? Now, every once in a while when I get stressed or I get too hot, I have a pain, and that's where he hit me, right? And so, you can have long-term physical reactions from this, and you don't want to subject yourself to this. Now, granted, I was in a situation where, I wasn't able to speak about it, but people saw it, and people were telling me, you need to get out of this situation. And because of the financial situation, he was taking care of me. I stayed a little bit longer than I should have, but then finally I got my leg back, and then I got up out of there. But I want to say this to women. There are a lot of men that will love you and appreciate you and take care of you, but they will also be abusive. Do not let the pros outweigh the cons. Do a list. And if one of the cons is he's physically abusive, do away with him. Do not feel that you can fix a man. You can't fix a man, okay? You shouldn't want to try to upgrade a man. You should not want to make him see the light. No. You get away from him, let him be somebody else's case study. Let him be somebody else's, I fixed him, he ain't this person no more. Get out of that situation. Because what happens is, for me, I went through years and years of repairing myself and healing myself, and got into a lot of toxic relationships after that were financially abusive, verbally abusive, all because I stayed a little bit too long in that physical and verbal abusive relationship. Do I fault him? Yes, I fought him, but do I fault myself more? I fought myself more because the first sign of him being abusive, I should have left. I should have left. I should not have stayed around. I should not have tried to second guess. I should not have taken his apologies. I should have did what was best for me. And especially if you have children by this man now, I did not have children by this man, thank God. But if you're a mom and you're in a physically abusive relationship with the child's father, the children are going to see that, and they're going to think that that type of behavior is okay. And a happy mom is a good mom. A stressed out, depressed, being abused mom, a victim mom, will raise children to have these same traits. So, ladies, do not allow yourself to stay in a relationship that is physically abusive. I'm telling you, I've been through it. I understand. I got you, sis. And if you need somebody to talk to, I'm here. And that really broke my heart to even hear that Meek spit on Nikki because he was insecure, because he felt like, because a lot of times what happens is these men be like, they have this low self-esteem for themselves, and they figure, okay, well, if you with them, then that means that you have low self-esteem as well, and you're on my level, so now I'm going to treat you how I really feel about myself. That's be a lot of the problems. A lot of the problems be when you're in a relationship with the man and he's treating you bad, because that's how he sees yourself, and he thinks if you're with me, then you're just as low as me, and I'm going to treat you as low, no matter where you are at in the financial world, where you at in the social world, where you at, whatever. They're going to feel like you're on the same level as them, and then they'll try to disrespect you and harm you and do things to you. Case in point, Keke Palmer's baby daddy. So, sis, if you going through that situation, I'm here to tell you, do what you got to do. Even if you, when I left him, y'all, I left him with $50 and a phone bill due. And I moved to Atlanta. That's why I moved to Atlanta. For those who wonder why I moved to Atlanta, because I was in an abusive relationship and he beat me, and he told his mom, I get this bitch out my house. And he thought, oh, it was just going to be a normal, we fight, we make up. No, I got the fuck on with $50. Shout out to Donnie for buying my bus ticket. And I went to Atlanta and I never looked back. Okay, so I'm here to talk if y'all need somebody to talk to, but I'm also here to tell you, sis, do what you got to do, even if you got to suffer for a minute. Would you rather suffer for a small time, or in some cases, would you rather suffer long term, physical, mental, emotional, or even it can cost your life? Okay, because I know somebody that was in an abusive relationship and she actually lost her life. Okay, so I'm just here to raise awareness. That video where he talked about Meek doing that, that just didn't sit well with me, and I was like, you know what, let me address these bum ass dudes that think that beating a woman is cool, and let me talk to my sisters and let them know we ain't going for this in 2024. Leave that dude. Even if he ain't physically abusive, if he financially abusive, if he verbally abusive, if he emotionally abusive, leave his ass, because it'll be a man that love you and treat you well. But also, you got to heal first before you can attract that person. So leave him, heal, realize that it wasn't your fault. The only thing that you did was stay too damn long. Suffer a little bit to get over it, and that's it. And that's my daily rant for the day.